No, let's just do it.
We can do it.
And we'll be dead serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stupid.
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 All right, serious.
In 5, 4, 3.
I farted. Dreams. On toast. Welcome back to another episode of Dreams on Toast. Whoa! Oh, something really weird happened to me this morning.
What?
It was a first timer.
Is this going to be something to do with the toilet?
No.
Oh.
Well, no, it is to do with a bad smell though.
Oh, okay, go on.
So I've never had to do this before, but there's been a bad smell in my flat block, like my block of flats,
Yeah.
and I've not heard any like commotion from the downstairs neighbour in a little while.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I've done a welfare call on him.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because I'm a bit concerned.
And what happens? Do they tell you?
Well, they just said that hopefully he's gone away and just left his bins there in the house, or like some
Yeah.
chicken on the side.
So when was that? Today?
This morning, yeah.
So if they... Oh, my God.
I don't know if they've come.
I didn't smell anything when I walked in.
Didn't
so-
you?
No.
Well, we all did.
Oh.
Like me, my partner, Nick the tech.
Yeah, I didn't notice. Maybe it's because I walked in with you. I just thought it was you.
Yeah. Is it? If there's usually a weird smell, it is usually me.
Yeah.
I
know
can
the
understand
source.
that. Yeah, how's it been going, Emmy, all right?
I've been so ill since the last podcast.
Yeah, and I've now got a cough.
Yeah, I don't know who you got that from because I've actually been really well this last week.
Yeah?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but I wasn't that ill with a cough. Like I've had a bit of a like chesty cold. That fucking thing. I'm leaving it.
The set's broke.
All right, Nick. I'm not putting that back for the 5th time.
Yeah.
I can't sit still enough for it to stay there.
Nah.
So I had a really, really bad migraine.
Fire our set designer. So,
Yeah.
yep. You
We'd
had a
be
really bad
fucked if we
migraine.
did fire,
Yeah, no,
Nick. Yeah, I had really bad migraine. The lights, I think, maybe don't help very much. And I was so sick. I thought I was going to need to call an ambulance. I was just in agony and throwing up for about 10 hours. I was so done with life by the end of it.
Yeah.
And I think
Ring
it
the
gave me a
ambulance.
bit of...
What's wrong? Oh, I've got a headache.
Yeah, what do you say? I feel
Yeah.
stupid to ring and be like, I've got a migraine. But we had to do it before. Ring an ambulance because I was really ill with it. Yeah, they're really fucking bad.
What do they do?
They normally come and inject me with anti-sickness.
Really?
Yeah, just to
That's
like
it.
stop me from throwing up.
Yeah.
And it does help massively. But yeah, I think it gave me like, I feel like I've had a little bit of brain damage. It was so painful. And my brain's just not working very well since.
I haven't had migraines since I was a little kid, but I remember they were just brutal.
They're so horrible.
Yeah, like a few days, or just like, and even afterwards, like you say, just feeling like weird.
Yeah, you have like a migraine hangover type thing for a few days where you just feel like you've been hit by a bus. Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, it's not cool.
So yeah, that's how I've been. Shit, but I
Amazing.
feel better now and I've had the last couple of days have been good. So
Yeah, we got the band back together.
we did. It was so fun.
Yeah, that was nice. It was nice to get musical again.
Yeah, it was fun to play some bass.
Yeah, I've been just doing like, obviously I've been busy doing other things, but like it is nice to do music again.
Yeah, it felt amazing. I feel like I don't realise how much I'm missing it when we haven't played for a while. As instantly, as soon as we started playing together, I just felt like so happy.
I notice I miss doing band stuff when I'm like in the car listening to a wicked track. And I'm,
Yeah.
like, singing my heart out, and then I'm like, oh, I've got a band I could be doing this with.
Yeah, and we've got like 3 more songs already pretty much that we're coming up with to add to our album.
So the demo album's nearly there.
Yeah, and then we have to get it recorded.
Get it recorded.
I'm excited.
Poach some other brilliant musicians.
Yeah.
See if we can find a lovely drummer.
Yes.
Yeah, really nice technical jazz drummer.
Yeah, I was going to
please.
say any jazz drummers watching this that
Yeah.
want to be in a band.
Not a jazz band. But
No.
we need to be a jazz drummer.
There is kind of fusion, so there might be some
That's
jazz
true.
elements in there. Email us at...
Yeah, I tried
Dreams
to
on Toast.
explain us to someone the other day, and they listened to a few bits, and they were like, the only word I can put it to is like eclectic. And
Yeah.
They liked it though,
Yeah, there's no... Each song is a different genre completely, which
which is fun.
I really enjoy that.
Yeah, but still with
So-
like some undertones of being similar.
Yeah. Well, you're singing mostly on them, so your voice is quite what's the word?
I don't know.
Distinct.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing to say.
Yeah, you got a beautiful voice. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
What are you doing that?
Yeah.
What is that?
No, it's not. I come from a land down under.
No. What is it?
With the rising sun. No, I don't know the words
Ah,
now.
anyway,
Oh,
we'll look it up
God, I'm
later.
sorry,
But
everyone.
tell me, apart from band practice, what else have you been up to?
What else have I been up to? I went and had a tattoo done.
Oh my god, yeah,
I
a
wasn't
really
gonna get-
sick one. Can you get it out, or
Oh, not really.
do you want to wait till it's finished?
Yeah, I want to wait till it's finished.
It's-
Like,
I can tell you though. It's
so I
fucking
haven't
sick.
I wasn't going to get any more tattoos. And I had one on my chest that just didn't really cut the mustard. So the lady who did it originally, she did it 10 years ago, has now got vastly better. Big up Alex Mack from Six Hands Tattoos, by the way. Anyone who wants tattoo and they're in Bristol should go and check these guys out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there. It's so
Six Hands
sick.
Tattoo, yeah, very good. Alex Mack does like crazy designs. Callum does sort of traditional tattoos, and then Matt does a lot of geometric stuff. I might have got that all wrong, guys, but go and see them. Six Hands Tattoo in Bristol, brilliant. Check them out on Instagram as well, amazing. Yeah, so she said, "Oh, let's get that fixed and sorted out."
Yeah.
And her way of doing that was like coming up with this completely different design, slapping it on top. And I've never had a tattoo sober before, which you shouldn't do. You should always be sober.
How? Like, oh, I thought you meant you just shouldn't ever get a tattoo when you're sober.
No, you should be sober.
I was like this. Yeah, you shouldn't.
Well, no, because
Too
if you
painful.
drink or do anything like can thin your blood and then you bleed a lot more and
Yeah,
it's just not good. So yeah, and they hurt, apparently.
it really fucking hurt.
I had no idea that they actually hurt. I've always been that guy. Like, yeah, maybe just to me, mate. Nah, not really. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just made of different stuff, I suppose. I was made of drugs and alcohol. That's
Yeah,
what, that's
yeah.
what
Numbed
that's what,
out.
Yeah, numbed out to hell.
And now that you've had one on your sternum,
My sternum, the sternum really sucks.
you think they probably do hurt a bit, right?
Yeah, it really hurt. It really hurt, and it's like 5 hours of like just tattooing. And it's only half done.
Worth it though.
Yeah, worth it. Yeah, I wasn't going to get any more because of like trying to get acting jobs and stuff, but some people have said not to worry.
Yeah, I don't think you need to these days.
Yeah. Yeah, but I suppose
Cover
like
yourself in
if you're doing
foundation,
like a
whatever
bit
it
more
is.
of a budget thing, they might not be able to afford to like get you like makeup done, makeup up
Maked up.
properly. Yeah. I really need the toilet already.
Already, go on.
Yeah. I think we're back on.
Okay.
Hey, I just remembered that
Scared
song
me.
that I was trying to sing.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's the Immigrant song by Led Zeppelin.
Oh, just your brain power that
Yeah,
came up
it was
with
my
that.
brain.
Yeah, all right. Not a tech person.
Shut up. Thanks, tech people.
Well done, Seth's brain.
Yeah, it was my brain.
Tell me,
Tech's
Seth,
brain.
have you had any dreams the last few days?
Yeah, I had a dream last night. That pissed me off, but I'll tell you. So I think
Oh.
I think Linda and I we were in like Pakistan,
Okay.
and there was a lot of chaos going on, and I was quite scared. And I was like, oh no, what's going to happen? Something's going on. There was like a lot of shouting, a lot of like goings on.
Yeah.
I was freaking out a little bit. Then they started painting everyone's faces black, like not paint, liquid paint, but like the black powder paint,
Yeah.
and putting that in everyone's faces. And I was thinking, oh, this is just blackface. This
Yeah.
is like not good.
This is not allowed.
No.
Yeah.
So I was scared about getting cancelled. And then, no.
Of course.
I was just scared for my life in the dream. And then it turns out that actually this is a festival. And the whole aim of it is to steal other people's houses for the night. That was the aim of the festival. So you got your face painted black. Then you had to be really silent in someone's house. And then steal their house for the night. And that was the aim of the festival. And then my alarm went off, and I was really getting into it. I knew it was going to go down a bit more of a rabbit hole than that.
So the houses that you're stealing in your blackface
Yeah.
is that people are in there and you've got to steal it from them, or those people are also part of the festival and you're all just going into each other's houses?
Okay, so no idea.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I didn't, because my bloody alarm went off. It was obviously like the later dream I'd had in the evening, in the morning actually.
Yeah.
And then, my alarm went off and cut it short. and I woke up, so I didn't actually get to steal anyone's house.
Yeah.
But I did sneak up.
Disappointing.
I snuck upstairs in someone's house.
Nice.
Yeah. And there was a guy who said, if I was you, I'd steal that house over there. I would do the accent, but...
Yeah, definitely don't. You're going to get cancelled.
Okay,
at
don't
this
do the
rate.
accent. I did
Well-
the accent to Linda this morning when I woke up. And
Did
she was
you?
like, what?
No, Seth.
I want to do it now.
Well, weirdly, my dream last night was also pretty multicultural.
Nice.
Yeah, it was. I've written it down because I'm really terrible at remembering. But it was about elephants and wolves. There was actually 2 parts to this dream. First part, elephants and wolves. Second part was the like multicultural dream where it was all like people of colour, and then my sister was like the only Caucasian person I saw throughout the whole, like at the start of it.
Nice. We
So-
were in sync.
What?
We were in sync then, because
Oh,
the only Caucasian
yeah.
person I saw was Linda in the dream.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we travelled last night in our dreams.
Yeah, nice.
And so
Maybe we need a holiday.
Yeah, that's what our brains are telling us.
Yeah,
We've been doing this podcast so long now, I'm
I
knackered.
know, yeah.
I need to go away, lay in the sun. So the beginning of my dream was that my sister got picked up by an elephant and put on its back with a load of other people. And the whole premise at the start was that I was like, this is wrong. What? Like, you know how...
Stealing my sister.
Yeah, no, not the elephant's wrong.
Fastest
The-
getaway vehicle you can find, an elephant. Yeah.
The dickhead humans that do this stuff with animals that's
Oh,
been going
okay,
on,
I
you know,
get
where
you,
they
yeah.
like
Mistreat them.
them and people pay to go like sit on them and ride around or whatever. But then the rest of that part of the dream, I was raising baby elephants and wolves.
Oh.
But I was really aware the whole time that it wasn't right. Like I felt really bad about it. I was like, this isn't right. Whatever we're doing is wrong.
Oh, so you weren't like taking them from the bad place?
No, I don't
You're
think so.
working
It was
for the bad
it was
place.
weird. It wasn't that they weren't rescues. They were like babies. I don't know why.
What were you doing? Wet nursing them?
No, I was most of the time I was just getting chased. The elephants were really aggressive, the baby elephants.
Yeah.
But they looked like a mix. They didn't look like baby elephants. They looked like a mixture of a rhino and a hippo. And they were like chasing me. They were really angry.
Wicked.
And
Oh,
I was
that's
like
very cool.
running and like climbing things to avoid them, like get out of the
Yeah.
way of them. But the wolves were actually pretty sick because I've always been obsessed with wolves since I was really young.
Yeah.
And the
They'd love
wolves,
you
like,
too.
yeah, well, they did in the dream. It was nice. We
Yeah.
like frolicked together, you know,
Frolicked. A meadow
through
and
the
wolves.
meadow,
Yeah.
and I howled with them, which is like something I do a lot anyway. I like to
Nice.
howl at the moon. So that part was nice.
I like
and
this.
then, and then the dream moved forward to me, and I was like a teenager again.
Yeah.
And I was really struggling because it became a dream where I was like, had all this interest from all these different women, which was lovely,
Mhm.
but I just couldn't text them back well.
Yeah. That's
That's the
so
story of my
annoying.
life. So they were messaging, like there was a woman I was interested in, and they were messaging me, but then my messages back were really short and blunt, but I couldn't help it because I'm not very good at messaging.
Yeah.
And then they'd think I was just a dick and would not be interested. And then there'd be someone else I was interested in, and I'd be like, oh, like message them. And I was like, I'd write like a 1-word reply. It's like, you know, when you get like someone gives you like a thumbs up emoji
Yeah.
on
yeah.
a text, which only dads
Thanks,
are allowed
Dad.
to do. Yeah.
Yep.
That's the only time it's not a dickhead thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I was replying in that kind of way, and people were just not having it, and they were like, fuck this person. And then by the end of the dream, people, like, no one liked me anymore, even my friends. And they were all like making up
Ooh.
rumors about me and all this shit.
Nice.
But it ended on a
Shit
nice note where one of the women I liked
Wolf
came over and she explained what was going on, that people didn't like me because they're making up these rumors. And then I got to like explain myself and fell in love with her, and it was a beautiful, happy ending.
Oh.
Then I woke up.
That's
Yeah.
nice. I think if I was texting a dream as well, they'd just be like loads of spelling mistakes that I couldn't fix.
Yeah, it's hard. It'd just
Yeah.
be like, okay.
Okay.
They like write me this lovely message, and I'm like, okay. But I didn't mean it to be horrible.
I can deal with a thumbs up from anyone, really.
yeah,
I
me
can't
too.
deal with okay.
I think if it's just an O and the K, it's worse than if it's OKAY. I don't know why more
Yeah,
letters
yeah,
seems less like,
If someone just
Brutal.
okays me, I'm like, what?
yeah.
Are you okay with it or not? Like, I don't know. Like, if someone says, yeah, that's fine, see you later.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's all good. But if someone just okays me, I don't know, just get a bit hung up on it all.
Well, you know what I'm like with messaging. I'm really bad at it.
Yeah, but when you write the message to me, you it's fine.
Oh yeah, like, I can articulate it, but I'm not very good at replying. Do you remember when we first met and then we messaged quite a lot, and then if I didn't reply, you'd be like, "What have I done?" And I was like, "No, it's just me."
Yeah, I thought maybe you just like, it was just my head just thinking
Yeah.
I'd done or said something or something.
And I'm aware that happens. So I think in my subconscious, I'm always aware of like that I struggle to reply, and then I think, and people are probably thinking like that they've done something wrong or that I'm just a dick. I don't know. So I guess it
But the
came out of my
busier you
dream.
get in life, the more you realise that, oh shit, they don't have to reply straight away.
Yeah.
Like, I don't reply straight away. And I try not to click on a message to say that I've read it because I want to read them and then reply later because I'm busy.
Yeah.
But I don't want people to like be double blue ticked.
I turn all that stuff off. God, it gives me such anxiety.
Oh, yeah. There's the cough.
That's the cough.
Okay, so I like your dream. I think your dream is worth a 7.5.
Oh, what? That's amazing. I think that's the best I've had.
Well, because it sounds really nice frolicking with rhino elephants.
Chased by like hippo rhinos.
Oh, hippo rhinos, sorry. Yeah, hippo rhinos. But where's the long nose?
Hippos. And
Did they have a long nose, though?
they had a hippo
Trunk.
nose. Hippo looking nose. Longer, actually. It looked almost like a small crocodile
Trunk.
snout.
Oh, okay. So they weren't really
It was like
elephants.
with like no, they were weird. They were scary actually, and I didn't like them. But the wolves were really cool. That part was nice.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was there like, ow!
Just losing your shit. No wonder you didn't know how to text if you were that feral.
Yeah, like a little Mowgli.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I wish.
I liked it.
All right. Well, your dream. I can't give much of a score because
No,
there wasn't
no.
much to it, but
I blame
I
the
do feel that there's some sort of purge style kind of film idea in there.
I don't know. I think it was just going to be a lot
a
of good fun.
Small bit of racism thrown in.
Why?
Well, the blackface part.
Yeah, and the fact that I was maybe scared of them and they were just having a nice festival.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was like, something bad's going to happen here. Oh, no. Yeah, no, that is a bit maybe.
Yeah, so for that I'm going to knock even more off. So you get a minus. No, I'll give you a 4.6.
Make it a 4.8.
4.7.
All right, 4.7 will do.
Good bargaining there. Good haggling.
Thanks. Cheers.
So on that note, should we
Dream news. There's a little bit of dream news.
Go on, yes, tell me the dream news.
So I've been reading a little bit up and found a little study from Jing Zhang. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Jing Zhang. And she's doing a little study. They're doing a little study. Sorry, I just thought there was some commotion going on out there. Yeah, so they're doing a little study, which is interesting. Oh, no, it might be a person, sorry. Zhang. Might be a man or a lady, I don't know. Actually.
Okay, yeah.
I just read the article, so
Yeah.
it could be anyone. And then I was reading a little bit. So Mary Calkins, apparently was the first person to study dreams in 1893.
Wow.
Yeah. Done it by candlelight and woke people up periodically through the night to
And
see
then-
how vivid their dreams were.
And would like note down all their dreams.
Yeah, and then
That's
note it
pretty
down,
cool.
which is pretty
So
cool.
that's the first time that like the first documented
Yeah.
dream research.
And then in 1953 is when REM sleep was, like, the rapid eye movement was classified, I suppose, and
yeah, which
studied a bit.
which is the main time you dream, but it turns out you do dream in other stages of your sleep
apparently
as well.
so.
But
We need
more
an
so
expert.
in
We need an
REM.
expert to come on here and talk
Yeah,
about dreams.
please,
That'd
someone
be
that
good.
knows something.
Someone that
Just
knows, because
come
at
on.
the moment we're just giving fake
No idea.
scores to
Yeah.
things and chatting
And talking about our really boring dreams. too.
Yeah. So the bit I picked up in the Jing Zhang study, Jing Zhang. I'm probably saying it so wrong, but yeah, that the thing I picked up on was that a lot of people with like mood disorders, so PTSD, anxiety, depression,
Yeah.
they report having excessive dreams.
Ah.
So they can be linked. They think that the excessiveness of dreaming can be linked to some mood disorders.
Yeah, I
Could
read
go
something
both ways, but
similar recently because I was looking up sleep paralysis because I want to talk about that on one of our podcasts because I get it a lot. And that also
let's do it
is-
next week.
Yeah, definitely. Let's
Yeah.
do it. And that's also linked to, like PTSD, anxiety, any sort of depression, mood disorder. Which is really cool.
Yes, both bring a bit of
Really cool. It's
sleep
great. I love it.
paralysis, kind of thing to the next one. Do
Yeah.
a bit of research.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Nice. All right, should we have a little break and then
Let's
get
have
our
a little
guest on?
break. So, yeah, and then we'll be back with the guest. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Dreams on Toast. We are now joined by our lovely guest, Will Dowland. Have I said it
Dowland,
right?
yeah.
Good. Will
Dowland.
Dowland, actor, theatre artist, and teacher.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, lovely to have you, Will. I do want to ask a little bit about... So, theatre artist.
Yeah.
I feel like
You might
that's-
need to explain that for people.
Okay, so for me, I think I set out in terms of my career in order to wanting to be an actor. But what I found through, the work that I've done is that I make more than just, performances. I've had opportunities to make my own theatre, make my own shows as a director, but also as like a creative. So from making a piece of theatre from scratch with nothing, from just like playing games in the space to, doing a bit of free writing to kind of forming what is the bare bones and possibly into something more, an actual play. So I would call myself
We'll
a theatre
definitely talk
artist
about that a little bit
or
more
a
later.
theatre. I guess the word is theatre maker as well. That's definitely
Theatre
like
maker.
a phrase that gets thrown.
Yeah.
Doesn't that
around.
just mean you build theatres?
Yeah, well, I have said to people like I'm a theatre maker before, and they're like, "Oh,
Wow, you build sets.
So, like, what do you do
Set
backstage?
design. Yeah.
What do you make?" I was like, "No, I don't like sit and build the props and the set."
I think
'Cause that's the
theatre
whole
artist
job.
is just, I think it works.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I think it's good. So we'll talk about, there's loads of little bits I want to talk to you about, which is good. But first, we need to do something with you, Will.
What?
Yes.
We're going to
Oh God.
bust out the...
Dream elephant. I thought we had a new... Did we not have a new song for it?
Yeah, well, yeah, but it never
You're gonna have
lands.
to explain this to me.
So put your hand inside there. There's
Right.
little pieces of paper inside. Take one out, read it, but don't tell us what it says and think about it, and we'll come back to it later.
Can I look at it now?
You can,
Yeah,
yeah.
have a look,
We
yeah.
can't. Don't tell us.
Ooh.
Keep that in your mind. We'll come back to it at some point.
Just have a think about it.
Okay.
If that's never happened to you or whatever, just make it up. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, theatre artist.
Theatre artist.
Create something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just improvise there.
I also know a little something else about you, Will.
Yeah, go on.
You're in the choir, no?
I do. I sing in a choir.
Ah, what are you?
Did
You're
I tell you this?
No,
When
you didn't tell me, no.
Oh, so we've done some research.
a little bit.
contralto.
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 You're an alto. You're a tenor.
I'm a tenor. Yeah,
tenor.
so I
Guessed
sing
it first time.
in
I'm
a
a
choir
fiver.
locally. I love my singing. I've done that like growing up, and it's
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of part of my performance work. Although I don't feel like I call myself a professional singer. But no,
I've
sing.
heard you do a bit of singing. though.
Yeah,
You're good.
same. You're very
It's
good.
fun. It's so much fun. And
Effortlessly harmonising.
yeah.
One time I was like, where's this guy come from?
I think that's definitely, I can harmonise. I'm not very good at being on time. That's definitely things that I get feedback in the choir.
Yeah, you were late coming here.
You're speeding up. I was late coming here. I'm often
Singing the
late-
right-
I'm late coming here. I was late for my cue. I'm late for my cues. I'm
Yeah,
late
yeah,
for,
yeah.
I tend to either speed up or slow down. I think that's definitely, I haven't got that internal rhythm in the same way that other people do.
But amazing that you can harmonise effortlessly because I cannot for shit.
Yeah.
It's great fun. And I did have like a few, like, when I was really young, a lot younger, I had like singing lessons, but not for long. And I just I loved that part of, performing. And I sing in the shower, I sing at
nice.
home.
I think I want to join the choir.
Yeah.
You should. It's great fun. We sing on Thursday nights.
But I
in
want to join a
Bournemouth.
Gregorian choir.
Is that for people called
Which is
Gregory?
Very cool. It's,
Sorry, I don't
Just
know.
Greg.
it's just so crazy. I don't know how they blend their voices together so well, but it's just beautiful. And I don't think they sing in English necessarily. But there's only one I know is in Bristol. I don't think there's one here, which is a shame. But it sounds beautiful. I'll show you guys later. some
Yeah,
music.
show
I've
me.
seen a video online of this like medieval choir
Yeah.
singing this big
It's
church,
quite like that.
and it's like an all male voice, and they're like, "Whoa!" I don't know how to. They're the
Yeah.
deep.
They go solo.
and the harmonies there are so rich.
Yeah.
and they sing it in this big like I think it's like a cathedral or something. And I just remember watching this video, and there's something
That might
quite,
be Gregorian. I think I'm saying it
Yeah.
right, Gregorian.
Yeah, maybe. And
choir.
what was I going to say then? I just completely lost my
What
train of
do you
thought.
guys sing?
So we're called Funky Little Choir.
Funky little
And-
choir.
Funky
and we
Little Choir.
sing like a lot of sort of funk and sort of soulful. I would say quite soulful kind of music.
Wait,
We
did
sing
they do
all
the
sorts.
Boscombe
Is it?
Carnival
Uh,
this year gone? Last
Possibly.
year,
I
come
don't
summer.
do all of the gigs.
Yeah. How long have you been in it?
On and off for the last like 6-ish years.
Oh, okay.
Because I
crazy.
moved away and then I came back and I've kind of joined it. My mum does it.
What, in the
Oh,
same
she does-
choir?
Yeah, she sings in the choir with
Nice.
me. So me and my mum, like,
So anyone
have-
can join this choir.
absolutely, yeah.
Should we do it?
I was thinking
Give it a
about
go.
Because it is a really good way to learn to harmonise for me. And my stepmom's in a choir and she absolutely loves it. She gets so much out of it. But just singing, I find the most beautiful instrument is just loads of voices
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
amazing,
harmonising.
Mhm.
That gets me more than any other instrument out there.
What do you mean, like?
Just in the sense of just
vocal harmonies. You mean?
yeah, just a load of voices singing together
Yeah.
gives me like all over tingles.
There is something quite sensory about
Yeah.
it, isn't it? Like, you know, when you hear voices coming together. I mean, we sang at the Increase the Peace event last week.
Oh, cool.
nice.
What songs
the
did you
other
do?
day. Oh God, what did we do? We did genuinely. It's like when you ask me what my favorite book is, and I just can't think of anything.
Yeah.
And
But actually, there's loads, yeah.
We do Freedom. You know, freedom,
Oh,
freedom.
yeah.
You gotta give them what you take. That one,
Nice.
and then gosh, what else did we do? You're gonna ask me. You have to come back to me because there's like
Okay, yeah.
loads. We're adding to our repertoire. At the moment, we're trying to figure out the introductory song in Lion King,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
which is
that
that one, and we've got the sheet music. That's it.
I don't know the words.
I
but
don't know the words.
I know the
either.
sounds.
And it's really hard because we're being asked to sing louder, and I'm just like, I can't sing louder because I sound like I've got, I don't know, it's just like I've got slurred speech because I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out what it is that I'm supposed to be singing. I have no idea. So
No.
I didn't know
because I
what-
can't get the vowel sounds right in time with the music, so I kind
of
of
course, yeah.
just sit back and I end up singing really quietly. And I think everybody's, once we've built that kind of what are the phonetics of this, because obviously we don't speak I don't know what language it is. I think it's a specific,
Swahili or something like
Is
that.
it?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know
'Cause
100%.
whatever country it's from, I think there's like 17 languages.
Yeah, it'll be
in
one
that.
of the African countries, and then there'll be loads of tribal dialects.
Yeah, that's the thing. So
Yeah, but it was Elton John, wasn't it? That wrote
it is
the whole-
Elton John. Yeah.
of the soundtrack for Lion King.
Oh,
yeah.
maybe he just made it up. then.
Yeah, that's why I didn't realize it was. I thought it was just like ours at the beginning,
Yeah.
but no, it makes much more sense that it
I
is
don't know. Drop
an actual
drop
language.
us a comment if you actually
Elton John,
know
if you watch
what
it.
language that is, and if you speak it, even better. Drop us a comment. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I'd like to know now what the actual lyrics are.
Yeah, me
in
too.
English
I think
at the
it
start.
does actually have the translation. I couldn't tell you what it.
Send.
But I'll send it to
me
you.
it, yeah, thanks,
it's
mate.
really interesting to be a part of.
What have you got in your toast there, Will?
Jam. I'm
Jam.
very grateful.
Strawberry conserve,
It's
specially selected.
Strawberry conserve, which I have a very nice jar of here. And I
To
have.
take away.
And as a little surprise, Will,
Well, I'm so grateful
you'll be
for that.
taking this strawberry conserve home.
I honestly can't think of any better prize.
Yeah, we pay our guests with condiments. So anyone that wants to come on the show,
Yeah.
you could walk away with
If
a jar
you're
of
like
jam.
down on your mustard,
peanut
and you want to
butter.
have mustard on toast, come get yourself a free bottle of mustard. I don't mind. No expenses spared.
I don't know what it is about this toast, but it just kind of reminds me of my childhood.
Oh,
Because
That's
it's
what I was
got
going for.
it's really wholesome. It's like just very basic brown bread, which I'm a big fan of.
Bit seeded though, right? It's a bit.
Oh, it
bit
is
seed
seeded.
in there.
I went slightly
Oh my
above
God.
basic.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not like Tesco value, but it's like
No.
it's nothing really fancy, but it's just like nice brown bread with jam, and
And that was actually thought out process.
I
about
believe
it.
you.
Yeah, because we had different toasts for the last episode.
We did. We
Different
had some
bread.
Polish bread,
Yes.
but I mix it up.
Yeah.
All different
What,
breads.
so do you base what bread you buy on the guest we have?
No.
Oh.
Oh.
No. I just kind of go out and I'll look when I'm out and I'll see, well, that loaf looks acceptable.
Yeah, it was good. I had some before. It was tasty.
Yeah.
Wasn't allowed to eat on camera. The rules of Seth.
Yeah, I know. Well, we're not allowed to eat toast. We can
What's
drink
your-
as many drinks as we
We
like.
can
Am I
watch
allowed to
you.
ask what is your go-to bread? What's your
I like a brown.
brown?
I love a
Seeded.
sourdough. I love all sorts of bread. I'm a big bread
Oh,
head.
yeah. I love a like nice sourdough with olives.
Mm.
I just love any kind of
But
olive
my
bread.
go-to toast is like definitely Marmite. But I do like jam, but not strawberry so much. more of
I'm a
raspberry
strawberry
guy.
jam
Strawberry
with you.
or-
Raspberry, I don't get it.
Or blackcurrant jam.
Nutella is definitely something, I don't know, is definitely something I've been a fan of.
Not for me. I can have it on pancakes and stuff like that, but I don't really like it on toast.
Just eat
Toast
it
is
out the
my-
jar.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the only time I'm not allergic to nuts for a moment.
Yeah.
Eating
I'm
Nutella
sure it
out the
is.
jar.
Yeah. If it's too delicious.
Covered in hives, just like, it's worth
Yeah.
it.
So dreams, Will. We'll stick to the theme of the show. Bit about dreams.
Bit about dreams. I feel like I should, because I've seen your fantastic dream journal right there, and don't write down my dreams, and I feel like I now need to start doing that
So
because
you didn't do it in preparation for
no,
this show.
rubbish.
Yeah.
I
guess.
knew when I messaged you that message, I thought,
Oh,
if someone sent me this, would I do it? No.
I don't even think I read it in enough time to be able to prepare to actually think about writing my dreams down.
You probably didn't take it seriously. You didn't realise it was going to be this elaborate
This
show.
set is unbelievable. I just walked into just like the most homely place. And I said earlier, like, I honestly feel like my flat doesn't have this same level of comfort and relaxation.
This isn't a flat. This is a set. This is a stage.
No, that's what I mean. My flat in my own home
Studio
doesn't give
that
me the
we
same
own.
like relaxing energy that this set does.
Oh, that's good.
Good. Well, that's what we want. We want the guests to come in and feel comfortable.
Yeah,
I don't know
just
why
throw
I'm going
it
to take it
at the
off you
wall.
or behind you on there if you want.
Yeah, put it here.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say something about a dream. So I don't write my dreams down, but I often, over the years, I've definitely like said a dream out loud, and that's the one dream that's stuck in my head. Because often I'll tell a dream or I'll explain a dream, and then I've completely forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember being, as a kid, I went on holiday with, like my parents and my brother, and we all just like sat in a room. Well, we were in like a hotel room, but we were all like sharing one room. So there was like, I must have been like 10. So it was like my parents' bed, my brother's bed, all like in this one room. And we woke up in the morning and we just started sharing our dreams. And I can't exactly remember the dreams. My mum's was like, I was in a bar with friends, and then like a family
Man.
friend like walked past, just like, hello, just passing through, and they were like, what is the context of this? And it in the dream it felt weird, which is weird because
I think she was leaving out some of that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
maybe that was it. I reckon
I
so.
couldn't tell you the rest.
No.
That was a bit, apart from me being an absolute piece of shit.
I've just choked on my.
Oh, no.
On your toast.
You've made me laugh.
I told you that strawberry conserve wasn't good enough.
I don't want to have to do another welfare
I've
check
messed
on
up the
someone
sound.
today.
Yeah.
I'll have to call
worry.
up more than one ambulance.
But my dream, I remember, because everyone was like, they were fairly normal dreams. Like they were fairly, someone's got this kind of dream. Somebody's got this, event happening to them that was all a bit strange, but it involved people in their lives. And I remember being like, I was dreaming that I was in a field, like running round, chasing other children, and like, I was picking like cereal out of my armpits and like throwing it at people, and just, I don't know, but it was like cereal, and people were running away like I was on some kind of Godzilla rampage, but I was like throwing cereal at people.
Out of
And
your
What,
armpit.
what kind
my
of
armpit.
cereal? Any particular
that was the thing,
brand
'cause it
or
was-
different?
I want to say it was like cornflakes, but it was cereal.
Obviously, it was like cornflakes. Yeah, of course. All armpit cereal is well known to be
What
cornflakes.
else
But I
would it
couldn't
be?
tell if it
Yeah.
was cereal or, excuse me, God, the thing that, you know, that weird sort of foam that you get inside mattresses, like the foam, but it was like that shredded kind of spongy.
Shredded memory foam.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like shredded sponge that I don't know how to describe it, but it could, from a distance, could have the same texture as cereal.
Right.
So it was kind of like
Makes sense.
sort of ripped up
Yeah.
sponge mixed with crunchy nut cornflakes, and you know, I was just trucking it at people's faces.
That's the best ability we've heard so far.
Yeah.
Gerard had some bad flying. He
Oh
could sort of
yeah,
half
he just
fly,
could bounce
but
basically
no
really high
one's been able to throw cereal
out of their
/
armpits.
memory foam out of their armpits.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to score this stream
All right. Yeah. Go on.
together.
No, you go on. I want to hear yours.
I reckon a 7.9.
I'll
Yeah,
take
it
that.
was so effective instantly. Just as soon as you said chasing kids, pulling cereal out of my armpits,
Yeah.
I was hooked.
I was hooked.
There's
yeah.
a show in there somewhere. There's a play to
I
be
think
written.
There could be a 3-hour feature-long film.
Yeah.
Extended edition, 4 hours. Yeah, I'm into it. So you're the, I suppose you're the sole writer, aren't you, of Ticking Along the show?
Yeah, I started this research and development project that about 2-ish years ago. And I got Arts Council funding to put on this R&D, and it was amazing. So it was called Ticking Along, and kind of what came out of it was like a physical score of a performance I need to work on in terms of writing and getting some more scripted text to said piece of performance.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I was trying to encapsulate what it's like to experience neurodiversity in general. So I have Tourette syndrome
Yeah.
and I have ADHD.
Yeah.
And that's something that, I could talk about forever. I will in a minute, I guess. But it's the best thing about it was about, I think, from personal experience, that part of my life is very hidden, or very, I keep it to one side. And
Your tics have calmed down a lot as you've aged, haven't they?
yes, they have. But I definitely think through coping strategies, so they've not gone, and it's not exactly like they've kind of eased, but I think I've also just learnt better ways of managing it.
Yeah.
So for me, I spend a lot of my life suppressing tics, masking tics. I think I can be quite overly animated sometimes when I'm feeling especially ticky, in order to cope with that in parts of my life where I feel that that's not something I'm, comfortable sharing. I do a lot of teaching.
Yeah.
And I find,
Tics are the physical reaction to Tourette syndrome rather than the insect.
yeah, that's what we call a tic, definitely.
Yeah.
It's like, so that could be a motor tic, would be, a physical movement, or a vocal tic, or verbal. So you could say something, sentences, words, phrases. I find when I'm in the company of other neurodivergent people, they tend to come out a lot more.
Yeah.
But for me, this show was much more about, trying to unpack that kind of visceral experience and what it's like through, like looking through the lens of the masking, looking through the lens of what you don't see. So like the idea that what most of the way I present myself and the way most of my life is seen is like the tip of the iceberg, and there is so much underneath that goes on, down to the chaos that exists in my domestic life, the chaos that exists in my head all the time when I'm trying to suppress, when I'm trying to focus, when I'm trying to do day-to-day tasks, and I find it really difficult to listen. And so if I'm somebody who doesn't know I've got tics, who I'm
You're doing a very good job at listening today.
trying to have a conversation, I think that's the company, to be honest with you. I feel very relaxed here, and that's really nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I
That's
think
good. That's what we try to set up.
it is. And I think when you guys are so engaging and so like fantastic to talk to, I think I can sort of plow through it. But if somebody's talking to me about something that I'm finding hard to understand or interpret, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And I think that kind of absolute chaos and manic mental strain is something that people don't see. And I think in this performance, that's exactly what I was trying to show.
I mean, it makes for a good show. Even if you put 10 people with Tourette's in a room, that's a pretty good show.
Yeah,
Because they just set each other up.
it's crazy the way that works. Yeah.
But you do mask it really well now, because when I met you, I didn't know that you had Tourette's at all until I think you mentioned it, because you were talking about this show, and I was like, "What? Will we know?" And he's like, "Yeah, I had no idea."
It's a luxury that I think I definitely have, although it could be classed as a burden in terms of,
I notice them now.
No,
But before, as previous, and I'm usually pretty good at spotting them.
Yeah.
I didn't really notice that much, or maybe I did notice. I can't remember how it came up.
You kind
in
of think
conversation.
retrospectively, don't you, about what actually may have
Because I can't remember if I noticed and then spoke about it with you, or you came up to me and told me. But we were talking about it, and there was our other friend as well. Oh, who's on the show, Gerard?
Yeah, in the last
he
episode.
has Tourette's, obviously. And there you go. There's one.
There you go,
and
there you go.
he didn't notice either that you had Tourette's either, and he has Tourette's as well. And he prizes himself. He's very proud of being a good tick spotter. So yeah, and I suppose that comes with age, doesn't it? You've got more. You want to have a bit more.
What I was going to say about that is that I think for me, having the ability, although it can be difficult sometimes, having the ability to mask and manage it and hide it from certain aspects of my life can be a privilege, but it can be a massive burden. And there was a point to what I was saying beyond that, which is, autonomy. Having the ability to, you know, share what you want to share. And I think there's a lot of people with tics and who have Tourette syndrome that, you know, they don't have that luxury at all. They have to walk down the street feeling judged in society all the time. You know, they have little to no control over it. They struggle to get certain jobs. They you know, have learning to function in a society that there is a lot of prejudice and there's still a lot of stigma around it. So, you know, I do consider myself a bit lucky there.
And I wonder with something I did recognise in you when I met you was the ADHD. I was like, here's a fellow
My God.
neurodivergent.
This is something that I've definitely not really seen in myself until later on in life.
Yeah.
Because as a young person, I was as a kid, my tics were my big thing. And, you know, other than that, I was quite grounded. But I think as I've got older and I've learned to mask, I think the ADHD is much more obvious. And, you know, I am manic and I've realised how much attention span I actually don't have.
Yeah.
And how conversations just can go from one thing to the next, to the next,
We'll go for 100 different topics. Always somehow come back to the first one at some point. But when I'm with someone else who's neurodivergent, I'm trying not to speak fast now. I start to speak really quickly and it's a lot more erratically. And I'm like, I have to get everything out. I get really like buzzed up off of their energy.
Yeah.
And then we talk about so many different topics. And if someone was listening, they'd probably think, what the hell?
What is this?
Yeah, like they probably couldn't even understand what I was saying because I'm speaking so quickly, but I get something from it and I like enjoy those engagements. But I was wondering with the masking with the tics, if it's similar to with the ADHD, I spend a lot of time masking, trying really hard to present as like neurotypical, I guess. Especially being a female and being raised in a sense of, you know, you're meant to be polite and sit still and listen and blah, blah, blah. And be clean and tidy. You know, these things are so difficult to maintain. We've spoken about it before. And masking it it just drains so much of my energy.
It is such an emotional and physical drain.
And is it like that with the tics as well?
I would say, it's definitely in the same category. And I think that a lot of these neurodivergent conditions overlap massively. So, you know, the experience that you and I have is probably quite similar. And sometimes you could argue that a tic is just an ADHD stim in some way. You know, you're stimulating yourself in order.
I'm not sure whether there's like I don't know anything about like the actual medical correlations between, because most time if you have something you tend to have something else or vice versa.
I think that is the correlation essentially, is that neurodivergent people tend to have, you know, overlapping things because it's affecting a similar part of their behaviour and similar part of their possibly a similar part of their brain.
That isn't technically misfiring, like it's misfiring rather than or whatever in the brain, you know, if you want to class it as that.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, yeah. Well, it is really interesting. You told me about a brutal one you had when you was a kid. What was putting your tongue on?
Oh God, yeah. So my parents bought me. Yeah, they bought me a Scalextrics for Christmas, which was like, oh my God, that's amazing. This is the coolest thing I've ever had. And it was a tough one at the time because I think for me, I would sit, you know, and play with that Scalextrics. And then, because there's motor tics and physical, how would I describe it? Tics that are, you know, just outward expressions in some way. But then there's also these complex tics, which can be quite oppositional, quite going against the will of your own desires.
Yeah.
So, you know, I used to have this issue where I would put my tongue on the Scalextrics and push the trigger and it would fire off like a massive amount of electricity.
Yeah.
And I look back on it now and it's like, it just is so stupid and it's so funny. But I think at the time I was quite scared by that.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
It freaked me out. And I had issues with, you know, if there was like a power lead in a computer, I'd grab it and I put my tongue on it. Or if my, you know, if the stove was on or the kettle was on, it would be, I could almost resist it in that way. So, but it would be just for a second. But I burnt my hand, struggled with ironing for so long.
Debilitating, and also it's not hilarious for the person involved, but it's hilarious to like talk about and like look back at and imagine those.
Got to laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to laugh. Otherwise,
yeah.
you would just sit and wallow and cry. About
Yeah.
it all the time.
Yeah.
If anyone's got any debilitating, hilarious tics like that, right? Like, let us know because I want to hear about them as well. And being a fellow mover in certain ways, non-voluntary ways.
I had an issue as a kid with electric fences as well. You know, Will, don't touch that electric fence that we're going to walk past in a random field.
Yeah,
Straight
of
away.
course,
Yeah.
Which was like, yeah.
Don't tell
it's-
me not to, and I might not have. Yeah,
Yeah.
Anyways.
That is the thing. That is the thing.
If you hadn't have mentioned it, I might
if you
not
don't
have clocked
mention
it.
it,
Yeah.
people don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
yeah.
I'd jump and crash down on my knees, and I'd injure my knees when I was going around a supermarket. Well, just don't jump. Oh, cheers. Thanks.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Just
Doctors
don't
used to
do
say
it.
that.
Yeah.
Have you thought about not doing that?
Yeah, it's like saying things as well. My dad
Thank
once,
you.
my uncle's cat died, and he loved his cat loads. And my dad said, "Oh, I can't remember the cat's name now, but he said, oh, your uncle's cat's died, and we were going to go see my uncle that day." And he was like, "Don't say anything though, please, just don't mention it, because he's really torn up about it." And the first thing I did when I got into my Uncle Mark's house, I was like, "Hi, Uncle Mark. Well, we were just talking about your cat that died." I just instantly, and I
Yeah.
got in so much trouble, and I was like, I didn't mean to be hurtful at all.
No.
Like, I don't know why. It was like because I was told not to. It
Had
was
to
like,
do it.
Had to do it.
Yeah.
And there was no like, oh, I'm gonna try and upset this man.
And that itself is also quite linked into ADHD as well, being told not to do something and then feeling like you need to do it.
Yeah.
And we have a friend who will get so much out of doing things he's not meant to do. So if there's, the alarms with the little glass bit, like you can
Oh,
smash the glass,
Yeah.
he flicks them and he'll flick them like up harder and harder because it's like he just can't help himself. He sees something like that. He needs
Yeah.
to go and push it to the edge. And I think for him, it's his ADHD. He's got really severe ADHD.
It's the urge that you need to fulfill it somehow, and I think ADHD and tics can often go hand in hand in that similar way. But
So Ticking Along sounds very interesting. Is it a one-man show, one-person show?
at the moment, well, it was made with myself and a friend, Rox, was the R&D, which was fantastic. I have no idea.
You don't know
honestly.
yet where it's
I
gonna
don't
go.
know. I've been doing a lot of different sort of projects in the last sort of 18 months, and I've sort of taken a bit of a step back because I've got no drive for it right now, and I think this is a very important piece of work for me, and it needs to happen organically. And at the moment, I don't think I've got the right team around me. I mean, we've said we need to have a chat about certain things.
I'm up for a chat.
Yeah, we need to have like a chat and see, because obviously, who did you have last week that I was on?
Gerard.
Yeah, Gerard and you and me need to have a chat about that and see where it goes. And I think that it's not just the creatives, but it's the right producer and it's the right team.
Of course,
I
you
think the
need
last project
people.
came with its challenges because I tried to do almost everything on my own.
Yeah.
And that it kind of came to a bit of a pause, I think, and I really want to make it work.
Yeah, no, I know that suffering. It's like having the ideas and the ideas and you tell people about the ideas, and they're like, that's really good. But it's very difficult to do things on your own.
Yeah.
You need a team. You need like some in somewhere with someone, or just willing people. Like usually if I run up ideas by Emily, she's up for it. They're
Yeah,
up for
and
it,
if it wasn't for Seth, I wouldn't do anything. I'm so bad at taking that first step when it comes to anything in life. I live a lot in that free state of ADHD.
I think I get exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
It's like it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
I've totally resonated
and I'll have an
with that.
idea, and I think for a couple of days I'll be on that idea, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I will never follow through. But because Seth is so good at actually doing these things, when he says to me, I've got this idea, I'm like, yes, please, because I know that when Seth's involved, I'm going to do it too. I just need someone else involved. It's the buddy system, I guess, isn't
having
it?
a team really is so important. Even if you're the one with the idea, having a team to be like, oh, I'll definitely, because you need people to commit to like giving up hours of their time and coming along, and as you get older, time is way more precious, and sometimes
Definitely.
people can't spare it. So it's good to have people that are like, yeah, you've got a great idea. Let's make it work. So I'm definitely interested to have a talk about it and just see. I
We should.
don't know what
Yeah,
I can give
really
you.
look
but,
forward to seeing it one day because it's such a brilliant idea.
Yeah. What else have you got going on at the minute? Have you got any? Oh, let me just go for a wee, and I'm going to ask that exact same question.
Yeah, go on.
So aside from Ticking Along with, which I definitely think you should, when the time's right, it'll come. But what
absolutely.
else you got going on at the minute?
At the moment,
Or have you been doing over the past? Because you said you've been doing quite a bit over the
I've
past
been
year
doing
and a
it
half.
quite a bit. So I've been teaching youth theatre. That's what I've been doing. And I think that comes with a lot of it's almost like a project in itself, because if we're doing a show or if we're doing a play for a performance or a showcase or whatever, that takes up a lot of my time. At the moment, coming up right now, I've got doing a theatre and education project with a company called State of Play, and they take sort of a piece of work that we sort of build into this fantastic sort of primary school in Corfmull and Wimborne. It's called Rushcombe First School.
Where you can trace your lineage back 300 years.
I was just about to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can touch on that later.
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah, and it's they've got this fantastic head teacher that gets this company in every year to put on a piece of theatre that kind of gets tied into their own learning experience.
Oh, that's
So last year we made a show called The Journey to Misdow, which was almost like a misspelling of wisdom. And the idea that, this character would come in and there is this magical land that's no longer called the magical land of wisdom. It's called Misdow and it's spelt wrong. And we have maths and English. The leaders of maths and English have disappeared and they've been locked away. And the children who have the power to bring everything back can, make everything okay again. But it's almost like an interactive experience.
Yeah, such a good idea.
But it's more than just that, and it's forum theatre. So we get the kids into the performance, and they become part of the learning adventure, and they become part of the experience. And then we go away and we make a show. We make the next part of the show based on what they want to happen in the story. And in the sort of 3-4 week gap, then the characters, the story, the themes that we touch on, that whole kind of theatrical event gets used in their actual classroom learning. They use the characters to talk about the way of learning.
Such a good idea.
Amazing.
And it's a normal state school as well. And I don't know where they get the opportunity for the funding.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing that, and these kids, I think, really are encouraged to, use their emotions, think about things critically, have an opportunity to, grow in ways that I think the mainstream education system can sometimes fall down on. That's just been a side thing that I've ended up doing, and I did it this year, and I did doing it this year, and I did it last year. I've worked for State of Play on another project a little while ago. We made a fantastic show, which I was the assistant director on in Badbury Rings. It's a fantastic little old historical site in the Dorset countryside where people Dorset, where people stood in the Civil War and stood against the two armies during the Civil War, and they were called the Clubmen, and they sat there and basically read out this declaration that they were not going to take part in the fight on either side. But the entire company were a company of learning disabled actors. So the majority of the performers were people who, outside of this, community group, don't get an opportunity in the same way.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And, they've been working in this way through this company for many, many years. And chap that I know, Tony Horrocks, is absolutely fantastic at that kind of community drama, community theatre. And I assistant directed that. We spent weeks and weeks and weeks putting this project together in different spaces, and then we eventually took it out onto Badbury Rings, and it was sort of a reenactment, sort of
I was going to ask.
theatrical drama, and it was amazing, and it was part of a bigger project, which the name seems to escape me now because my brain's gone blah, blah, blah. But there were lots of little performances going along out in this National Trust site. So the audience were asked to sort of weave through the woodlands and the grassy areas, and they would come across like a puppetry show, and they'd come across something else, and eventually they arrived out in Badbury Rings where we did this performance for them. And we did about 3 performances with different groups, and they came along and they watched it for half an hour, and then they'd move on.
Oh, that's so cool.
There's some highlights that I've done in the last sort of couple of years. And
I spoke to you a little while ago.
if you can remind me of something else that I was doing.
You were going down to London to do a show. Or you were going to be part of a Christmas show?
I was going to be part of a Christmas show.
yes.
Unfortunately, I couldn't do that anymore. That took a little bit of time out from that show. They still did it in Dribs and Drabs, and I'm hopefully going to have some plans to get involved with it again. But that was about... actually, no, I did. I went up a couple of times. I just didn't end up being in the final performance because, honestly, the time, as you were talking about, the funding.
We
and
were
getting
all in a play together at the time, weren't we?
The train fare to get back and forth was just so much, and that's the problem with theatre is that, there's not always funding in certain projects. I believed in that work, but that was one of the few things that I wasn't initially going to be paid to do. And that was, a little bit of a strain on my wallet, so I ended up dropping out. But I was part of the creative process a little bit, but it was almost like oh gosh, that's the name escapes me again. There was a word. There's a particular painting that's about the 7 layers of hell. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Dante's
yeah.
Inferno.
Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
It was a Christmas quiz, mate. Dante's Inferno. So the Christmas quiz almost being, as we go through the rounds of the quiz, it becomes more and more demonic and hell-like.
yeah.
Oh, that's such a cool idea.
And
That's
I
a
think
good
they're going to hopefully make it into something more, and it's going to turn into something that's...
Yeah, because I thought
for, like, corporate
my
events and
understanding was it was
experiences.
going to try and go on.
That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
Good, you're involved in so many different things. And just going back to you said about the kind of reenactment, that it was people that were like learning disabled.
Yeah.
It's something you're really passionate about, isn't it? Making the arts accessible for people with disabilities and neurodivergent.
Accessible theatre is such an important part of what I do. I think making stuff that includes people who are not possibly included in the conversation a lot of the time, mostly because of possibly how they communicate or how they what kind of additional needs they have, and it can often be more than just very obvious physical disabilities that people. I think we're slowly starting to understand a bit better, but I think neurodivergent artists, neurodivergent actors, and allowing people the space and the time and the way of working that suits them can be a really, really big challenge. I mean, last summer I worked for the National Youth Theatre, where I went over to Bristol, and they basically spend 2 weeks working, as you have to audition to get into the National Youth Theatre. So it's very, very talented sort of bunch of 14 to 17-year-olds who get into a room for 2 weeks with a director. I was the sort of course assistant, so I'm kind of assisting the director in that whole process. That's an interesting one as well for me, because you tend to get a wider demographic of people, because people come from all over to do this. And often, I mean, I've encountered quite a lot of people with ASD on those courses who...
What's ASD?
Autism spectrum disorder.
Okay.
Who are people that I've never... who are absolutely brilliant and wonderful, and they're even there can sometimes be how do we get this person into the room in the same way as everybody else?
Yeah.
And sometimes I think, especially at that age, and especially when you're making community theatre, it's more important that you have you're making something that is inclusive than it is to make this high art, or whatever you want to be making.
Course, yeah.
So obviously you want to make something of quality. You want to make something fantastic and brilliant, and there's nothing stopping you from
But
doing
it's got
that.
more depth than that even. Yeah.
And you can do that if you put the right parameters in place for certain people's access needs, whether it's taking rest breaks, it's allowing them space to leave the room, it's allowing an understanding of the tics, and sometimes maybe including that in the space rather than saying, right, maybe me, for example, Will needs a break because his tics are becoming too overwhelming to carry on. Can you take him? He needs a little bit of a break to stand outside, which obviously I should be able to have the independence to do, but also, not seeing it as a problem, or not seeing it as like a separate entity to me as a person in a performance space, in a rehearsal. And making it an accepted part of the room. And sometimes if you laugh, just laugh it off, rather than seeing it as this additional thing that exists for me personally.
Try and ignore it, and it's like, oh, this is a problem that this person has to deal with. Get them,
it's just accepting every member of the way that they are. And sometimes if somebody with ASD isn't quite interpreting what's going on in the rehearsal, or needs extra clarification, or just making sure that you say every important instruction 2 or 3 times, that's something that is a really big challenge, I think, in making professional work, that we don't think about those things often because you've not got the funding or
people
the opportunities.
with people who are a little bit different, have certain needs. They can bring so much, like comedy, or so much as well, like so much depth. A lot of these people have had like traumatic lives, so they can add so much like colour and flavour.
The creative world feels like it is there for neurodivergent people.
That's exactly
it.
To me, it does.
You can strive.
Who isn't a little bit? Do you know what I mean? That does the things that we do, all the creative stuff that we do. Who isn't a bit neurodivergent? I don't really know anyone that isn't. Whether they've not been and diagnosed or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Everyone I know that does comedy, acting, whatever it is,
Music,
music, most of them have something.
Yeah.
Whether they've been diagnosed
And
or not.
It feels like when I'm doing something creative, it's the only time I am able to unmask fully.
Yeah.
It feels like that's the only time I'm able to really use my ADHD and it can come out and I can just be a bit more wild and all over the place and erratic, and but it channels into something that I can then get up and perform. I don't know, for some reason those spaces do feel like the time I don't have to be this like quiet, polite person in the world. I can just let loose a bit.
Yeah. I mean, for me,
Yeah.
like I have like physical disabilities as well. Like I need to go to the toilet a lot, and like having to discuss that with people beforehand. Like normal people.
Yeah.
It can be quite a hard
It's
thing.
hard. Yeah.
Because even just saying what are your access needs can sometimes just put you on the spot massively. I don't know what are.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to play it by ear, but having that open ear from everybody in the room, being like, right, we can. I think the day one of as I'm learning about how to be more accessible, how to be more inclusive, from day one, is not the same access parameters you've put in place from day 2 or 3, because you learn everybody, especially neurodivergent people, start to realize that they have different needs in different spaces.
Oh yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
putting on a form sometimes that these are your access needs and this is what you need, and you need breaks to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might be like, actually, making a schedule to, make sure you go to the toilet every 20 minutes
It's not
is
gonna work.
not going to work for you. But it might work on day 1, but it might not work on
Yeah.
day 2. So we
Yeah.
say on day 3, let's make sure that we just check in with Seth every hour. What do you
Yeah.
need? Or we check in with
That's
Seth
why I like
every
doing
half
stuff
an
like
hour.
this, because I can go for a wee whenever I want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for a wee now.
Yeah.
I've been watching you two as well from the beginning of this podcast, when you have a fantastic, like that back and forth, and even starting. If one of you's not ready to start again, you just chat until you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that is something that you have an agreement on as co-workers, as friends. And
I think we just did it naturally because we started out. Well, we started out acting together, but that wasn't really what we did together. We went off and did music together. And I just asked Emily if she wanted to be involved in a little project that I had an idea for, and you were definitely keen. And then and from there, I don't think we even needed to discuss it. It just happened naturally.
It
Like
just
the way
flowed with us. It always worked, and people would comment on our dynamic when we were on stage together, and they liked that they could see the friendship we had and how at ease we were with each other.
Yeah, I think
and
it
they
made
really
the
enjoyed
performance,
that.
like, personal. a bit,
Yeah.
which is always nice, and it was really
Yeah.
nice to hear. So
Yeah, I
just
love
done
working
stuff
with
ever
you,
since.
Seth. It's brilliant. I really get a lot out of
me
it.
too. Yeah, it's good. It's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Do you need to go to the toilet?
Yeah, I'm going to go for a wee. And then I've realised we've had a
The
very
form says
serious
20 minutes, you need
conversation. Yeah, the form says every 20 minutes. But it's been a very serious conversation, but I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it.
No, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Do you want us to do a little single? All the single ladies, all the single. Are you going to do
Are
it
you
now?
actually?
Okay.
Are you outing me as a single man right now?
Wait, are you heterosexual? Do you...
I would just. Yeah, I'm heterosexual. Yeah,
What? Are you sure?
I describe myself as heterosexual.
Oh, I thought you
yeah.
were going to be like, I would go for a man occasionally. Yeah.
This is not. I don't know if this is something I want to talk about on the podcast.
Okay, yeah.
But like, I think
It's off limits.
it's definitely a spectrum. I think
Of sexuality.
of sexuality.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And I think I, on a deep level, that I probably wouldn't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I think that I am straight in the sense that I want to have sex with women,
Yeah.
but I do find men attractive,
Yeah.
and I think that's where my boundary lies in terms
Yeah.
of intimacy.
You don't want to have any sexual interactions with them, but you find them attractive.
Well, I'll give my male friends a cuddle, and I get pleasure out of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But without, I think the intimacy of a partner at that level is.
It's only become a
You know.
weird thing in our culture. There are many cultures that, if they're not interested in men, that's fine, that's normal. But they, normal to that individual, but they're very cuddly and kissy, and that's
Yeah, way
absolutely
more
fine.
affectionate
Yeah,
between.
yeah.
It's very much Western society, isn't it? That man, you're a man. Don't be like that with other men.
And
where
there's I've got a lot of
it's so
straight
silly.
friends that find it uncomfortable at the idea that you would suggest that they're gay.
Oh yeah, and
In a way
yeah.
that's like, I don't mind if somebody thought I was gay by accident.
I
You know what I mean? I
know,
don't
yeah,
have that insecurity in my brain, which is why because I'm like, I can find you attractive, and I can feel comfort there without it being like, does that mean I'm gay? Or does that
Yes.
mean I'm bisexual?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
need that label.
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
And probably a really scary thing to be a man in this world and worry that you might be gay or bi, because it's not a very nice experience a lot of the time
Yeah.
from how the rest of the world treats
I
you.
think
the
I
rest
have
of Britain.
questioned it in the past, and that's the conclusion that I've come to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In order to feel comfortable with
Straight,
myself.
but love a cuddle occasionally. even
Straight,
though.
and
Yeah.
definitely.
Nothing wrong with that.
Straight spooner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think the definition that other straight men would put it on it is that I'm straight, full stop. There's no, I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I think there is a box that you somehow have to fit in to be a straight man.
Agreed.
Fucking
Agreed.
binaries. I hate a box. I want to get a tattoo that says like a little cereal box, and it will just say boxes are for cereal.
But I think it's different for everybody. For me, I think non-binary is also a box that sometimes that can be hard for people to fit into as well. What is...
Yeah, I think it depends, because that's why there's so many different labels, and people are like, oh, there's so many labels. I'm like, yeah, but if you hadn't just said there were 2 from the start, there wouldn't need to be so many.
Yeah.
Like if you were just like, everyone is who they are, we wouldn't need to have a different term for the way every single different person feels. Like, so it depends, because some people don't relate to being non-binary, but actually I might think, oh, but they're like, the way they describe themselves is how I describe myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me, non-binary works for me. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I do feel like that. But they might be like, no, it doesn't fit me.
Yeah.
Because it is a type of another.
Because you
box in a
exist,
sense.
the idea of non-binary is that you exist outside of that binary.
Yeah.
But then you're giving yourself a tri-category.
Yeah.
And but then that's
But then
very
how
much
else
within the
can
binary
you?
lens, isn't it? That
Yes,
scope.
we're still fitting into the whole binary.
What is
system
non-binary and
of-
how do you live outside of it, but not
Yes.
giving yourself a third box
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
also as defining?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really hard.
that I don't
A lot of people
think
just
so.
say like, I guess you could say you're like genderless.
That's
Yeah,
a word.
maybe to be
Yeah,
like, no, I don't even associate with there being gender, but I do. Like, I get that there's gender, and I get that
Yeah.
you guys feel like men and you were assigned male at birth. I get that. I
Yeah.
get that there's women that were assigned female at birth and they feel like a woman. And I'm like, I don't understand it in the sense I don't feel it, but I know that exists.
Yeah.
And I've had to learn that I also exist, and I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm not what I was given at birth, or I don't feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
Seth, what do you call yourself?
I don't really think about it, but like I always tick the male box on the forms. But that's literally the only reason for that is because I have a penis. Like
Yeah.
that's the only reason, really. I don't really think about like my sexuality, for instance, is not to do with gender, but my sexuality, for instance, is like it's whatever it wants to be at the time. Whatever I feel comfortable with. I've never felt comfortable enough with a man or that attraction to a man
That's
to go to that extra step. There's been, I've felt, I think maybe as a child there were a few times as like an adolescent, and I don't know whether that was just like crazy hormones coming through,
Yeah.
But the experience is never like, they never went anywhere further than like, oh, I could actually fuck this person right now. And I don't know whether that was just like insane horniness or not, because now I don't feel like that. Now like hormones have settled down.
That's where I've been on that similar journey. in
Yeah,
a
but
certain way
if
where I've
it
thought,
came to a point where I was like, I am actually like, it was, if I was like, oh, I'm actually attracted to Will sexually.
yeah,
I'd like to, I'd welcome that thought, and then because it'd be a new path for me to explore.
Yeah.
In a sense, and I don't fear it. I think I would have feared that more as a child than I do now.
yeah,
Now I don't really think in terms of stuff like that. It's just if something happens to me, it happens to me. And if I feel a certain way about myself, and I'm not the most fucking masculine guy ever. Do you know what I mean? I'm just not like that. But then on days I am very masculine.
Yeah.
Like I can really be very what you would like classically define as a man.
You got your trucks
Yeah.
and your...
Yeah. And that part of me I enjoy, and I also am part of me enjoys, having a nice house and pretty things, and like women's clothes and stuff like that, just clothes in general, and this sign of like whatever it is that could be termed as feminine.
Yeah.
I enjoy, and I think maybe
I couldn't agree more with that femininity in
of
myself,
whatever that is.
Yeah.
and how fluid that can actually be.
Yeah.
But then I don't feel like I have it enough to say this is now metamorphosized my identity.
No,
you
me
know?
neither.
Yeah.
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 Or maybe it's because you have that understanding that having different energies within you, masculine and feminine combined, that come out more on some days than others,
Yeah.
doesn't define your gender. That you're still a man, even if you
Yeah.
like what we've termed thing to be feminine. So,
Yeah.
like, I know that you like to wear women's clothes sometimes,
Yeah.
Seth, but that hasn't made you go like, "Am I a woman?" It's more just like, that's okay. I'm still a man, and I like those things, and why not? Like, why not
Yeah.
like those things?
Yeah.
Because society has decided no, like society, I can happily sit here and say Western society has been very wrong about these things. Why is it okay for me to walk around wearing what we deem as men's clothes? Like, but then if
Yeah.
a man is to walk around in what we deem women's clothes, it's not okay.
Yeah.
So I like, clearly we've gone wrong somewhere with that, and clothes are just clothes.
Yeah.
We are people. Express yourselves however you want to. You know how you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
What makes you happy? Do it.
Majority of the time, I feel comfortable in things that fit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
if it fits me well, it fits me well, and that's. It's probably easier for me to say stuff like that because I'm in a relationship that, you know, I'm getting married and all these things to a woman, you know, so it may be easier for me to say stuff like that. But then also no, because, you know, for me in the terms of like, oh, well, do I actually want my female partner to wonder if I'm, you know, possibly explorative? No, because I'm committed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm committed to her as an individual, and
You got the green card.
I have got the green card to go with men if I like
Yeah.
Interesting.
in the relationship, not women, but men. This is one of the boundaries in the relationship.
And do they have that boundary as well?
No,
No.
but I don't know how serious this this thing is. You know, I wouldn't necessarily be happy with intimacy from anyone else. And I don't know. That's probably not that. It's not that liberal thinking, really, and it might be a bit rigid and old school. But I just like. I like us to be us, you know. I wouldn't also do it, even though I've got this green card. You know that if I found a man attractive enough that I could experience, because it's the one of the things that I've not experienced.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe she thinks that if I did want to experience that, I should be able to go and experience that, and that's very nice. But I don't know if I'd want to. I'd find it odd. I'd find it just the same as being with a woman.
It's still being intimate with someone else.
It's still
whether
being
it's
intimate
whatever
with-
the gender.
yeah.
And you're
And-
committed to Linda.
And I'm committed
so
to Linda and vice versa.
I get that.
So I think for me, it would make me feel uncomfortable if she was like, oh, I really want to go and explore things with a woman. I think maybe if we were both involved in either act, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd find it difficult. But yeah, I don't know with that one. It's very tricky, but I don't really think anything. You know, I'm technically, yeah, I am straight and I am male. But that's, yeah, like I said, I just tick that box 'cause I've got a penis.
Yeah.
Really not because I think that much of like, you know, I'm...
But do you feel like a man? Because your sex
What
is
is it?
male,
What is
my
that?
sex
What is
is
that?
female.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, do you feel like, obviously, when you're born, if your sex is male, they'll assign you as you're a man, right? Or a boy to a man. And female, I was assigned I'm a girl, and now I'm going to be a woman. Does that like resonate with you? Do you think, yeah, I feel like a man?
Well, I've never looked past the point of, literally never looked past the point of, oh, I have a penis, I'm a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never gone, oh, but I don't necessarily feel that way. I've never thought I felt male or female.
Yeah.
I just felt like, oh, I've got a penis.
You're just you.
Yeah, I've got the physical appendage that makes me a man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's if we can get behind this positive view that, you know, that gender is absolutely a social construct
Yeah.
compared to biology, which some people have a very hard time wrapping their head around.
Yeah.
And we can all accept that
Yeah.
together. Then when you say that, it makes total sense, you know, that you've got this. I'm a man because, you know, that's what it is. I don't really need to give myself any, you know, major label changes.
Yeah.
But, you know.
It was like that thought process of when you're younger and you're like, am I gay? Or am I, you know, do I like men or do I like
think
women?
that's
or,
the whole-
And I was just like, well, I find girls more attractive. But it takes a second to get to that realization. And it's like, because it makes it confusing that you have to choose.
Well,
I think that's
yeah.
that really interesting concept of like obviously we have an understanding of non-binary or outside binary gender, but then how do you have that outside social construct of sexuality as well?
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It's
Non-binary
so-
sexuality of
sexuality, like we said before, being a spectrum. So for me, I didn't have any question in my mind of whether I liked men and women or both. As a child, I knew it fully resonated within me that I like women, that I'm queer. But I think the thing where people tend to be unsure is when you're probably not like fully one end or this end or that end of the spectrum of sexuality. And if we hadn't grown up in a time when
Because there's no part of you that is really attracted to men ever. is
no,
there?
I can see like if a man's good looking sometimes, but it's not. I've no desire to be sexually intimate with them in any way. I've never enjoyed sex with men. You know, I've slept with men when I was boys when I was younger. When I was trying to pretend really hard that I was straight.
Yeah.
Because it was a scary time. It wasn't safe, you know, to say I'm gay. I'd have had a horrible time at school. No one was out. But like I knew from whatever age you're conscious of your sexuality, I knew that I like women. And I think with the queering, that comes down to usually that you could like both or one more than the other.
What
but
was
maybe
that word?
What did I say?
The querying.
Yeah, like if you're querying.
Oh, querying.
Oh,
I thought you
did
said.
you think I was doing like a pun?
I thought you said
Well,
querying.
querying is almost
Ah.
like queer.
No.
Yeah.
It's sort of
I thought you said querying.
Yeah, like it's
Queer.
Like equestrian.
I'm Aquarian.
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 well, like
Yeah,
a
yeah, I'm an
historian.
aquarium.
I'm a queerian.
Yeah, I just thought,
Queertorian.
this is something.
Sagittarius.
This is inside.
Aquarian. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, I didn't know if it was inside gay knowledge that I wasn't allowed to have.
No, I just love
Yeah.
making
This is
puns.
where you get past the test when you
Yeah,
officially change your gender.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. We're going to discover now, Seth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Over at
being
Seth or
part of
Neither.
Neither, yeah, nice.
what's that random religion? What would you call it?
Pastafarianism?
No, the one that's those weird churches. Tom Cruise is in.
Oh,
Scientology.
Scientology,
Not
yeah,
the first time
when
you've
you
mentioned
it's like you
Scientology
learn
on
the
the
different layers of being queer that you've got.
Yeah.
You get to the top.
You could be like Mr. Slave, who's
Yeah.
at the top. Like, South Park, another South Park reference. Beautiful. This has been a beautiful conversation. This has really been a really good conversation. I'd love to go further. Will you come back on the show, Will, another
Yeah,
time?
I'd love
Yeah.
to.
Just time
Absolutely.
conscious. I know you've got to go off and run and do things.
Yeah.
But I do really think that
Do you want to ask me about?
your dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that. Yeah. I'm just adding a bit of something, and we'll get to that.
A little something.
Look who's running the show.
Sorry, I got in the way of your flow.
I'm gonna retract. I'm gonna retract the invitation to come back. No, I'd
Yeah.
love for you to come back.
Yeah.
We'd love for you to come back.
Yeah, we would.
Thank you.
I
I've actually
speak,
had so
I speak
much
for
fun.
Emily now.
Good.
I think, when you're in a position to tick along with ticking along,
Yeah.
We'll have a chat.
we'll have a chat.
We'll have a
Yeah,
chat.
Yeah.
please do, guys.
Yeah, I think it would be good. It'd be beneficial for me as well. There's a lot of things that I need answered in life that I
Yeah.
think, just speaking to other individuals and stuff helps with, and I think
And then some of the conversations we've had today already, we're always striving for an
Yeah.
absolute answer, but I don't.
But we can
Yeah.
only
There is
scratch the
one.
surface here
Yeah.
as well.
But the
like,
more you talk, and I don't feel like I've done this enough recently, which is why this has been so beautiful and wholesome.
No.
That you start to move closer towards, a kind of a definition for yourself.
That you're
Yeah,
comfortable
your
with.
own belief in something
Of
and
your own
how
identity,
you feel. Yeah.
thoughts,
Yeah.
feelings.
Because that's right. You've just got to
social
come up with
views.
your own thing. Like, and I just
Yeah.
roll with my own thing, and I don't. I hate getting boxed into anything. Someone being like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you need to decide." It's like, well, I want both, or I want, it
Yeah.
might be greed.
But worldviews vary, and that there isn't an absolute
Yeah.
definition.
Yeah.
There's right and wrong, but then there is also
Yeah.
quite a big spectrum in between.
Absolutely.
Do what you want.
Yeah.
Just don't do unto others.
Yeah,
Horribly.
yeah.
But
Amen.
yeah.
Sorry,
So
that's
it's been
not-
excellent. We've had a very
Ramen,
serious
that's
conversation.
that's
We
ramen.
never have serious conversations on here. Really, they're usually all just
Gobbledygook.
Gobbledygook. And Will, I actually really didn't expect that. I didn't expect you to come on and give us a serious conversation. I thought we were just going to absolutely be ridiculous together. So maybe we can, but it was lovely.
There's time for both.
There's
Don't
time
worry.
for
Yeah,
both. Yeah. Well, that's DOT After Dark.
After dark.
DOT After Dark. Yeah. So lovely, basically. What did you pull out the dream elephant?
Yes.
What was it again? Oh, I can't find it. I think I've lost it. But the one I got was recurring dream.
Okay. Recurring dreams.
And what sprung to mind is somebody mentioned to me the other day about a dream that they had, and it's definitely a dream I've had in the past where, it's happened in different ways. She told me that she'd had a dream where she looked in the mirror and her teeth were falling out.
Yeah.
And I think I've had that exact dream.
You're not alone, Will.
No.
So 328,000 people a year.
Yeah.
Google this.
In
and
Britain.
That's so funny because I
Just
Googled
alone.
it outside because I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah.
It's the most
Earlier.
common dream.
I thought last week I was convinced that and I've clearly remembered it wrong, that it's to do with you're lying in your life or you've told a lie, but it's not. It's
No,
to
it's
do
to do with confidence in yourself.
and it's to do with, possible massive changes going on in your life
Yeah.
or your lack of acceptance
Yeah.
of certain things in your life, or you're not content in some way.
Yeah.
So I haven't had that dream for a while, but
So pretty content at the moment.
I don't know. That's probably. I don't think that's a definition that if you haven't had that dream, you're absolutely content with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's going perfectly.
Yeah.
If you
According
teeth are
to
in
my
your mouth.
subconscious, yes, it is.
According to your subconscious, you're doing pretty well. And you look pretty happy, Will. Maybe that's one of your many faces.
Thank
but
you.
seem pretty happy to me. And it's been fantastic having you on.
Yeah,
And
it's been really great. Thank
thank
you.
you. Because
Thank
you
you
do have
so
a busy
much.
schedule. So it was crazy that it landed on a day where you've got a little bit of time. Although you've picked up another project now.
Yeah, I've literally run from something else
a
straight to
Tuesday.
this
Yeah.
because I've been asked to just step into a quick project in
Yeah.
between.
Which is also another fantastic project. But
Yeah.
I think we're going to have someone else
We'll
come
talk
on
about
soon,
that.
hopefully, and talk about that company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So lovely to have you, Will, and safe journeys home. And don't forget your strawberry conserve.
No, absolutely not. I'm gonna keep this in my fridge. I was gonna say like on the
Forever.
mantelpiece, but then I thought
Frame
I'd probably
it.
put it in the fridge.
Yeah.
Although, do you have to put it in the fridge?
I
would.
do, because
Once
I think
it's
it
open,
goes
it
mouldy
mouldy.
quicker.
No, because conserve is like it's a preservative, isn't it? In
Yeah.
itself, so it lasts for
Yeah.
ages.
Yeah, but now I've gone in there and I've added bacteria into it.
Oh no, I've
So
got
I've
to be
let
Yeah.
air
careful.
go into some
So you-
bacteria, so put it in the
Got to
fridge.
keep your spit nice and chilled.
I haven't
in the
licked
fridge.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming, Will.
Yeah, thank you,
See
mate.
you later.
Thanks,
keep,
guys.
Keep ticking
See you.
on, brother.
Keep ticking on.
Keep ticking along.
Nice.
That was nice.
I really enjoyed
We
it.
were so adult.
I know, we had a real...
That was a
Real
really
conversation.
adult conversation. And we only touched the surface of so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be really nice to get Will back one day and ticking along, I hope. Yeah, I think the concept of the show is a very good idea. So,
Yeah, it's brilliant. I love the name. I love anything that's a pun.
yeah, ticking along is very funny, yeah. So, and he's a really funny guy. He was very serious today, quite serious, but he's very funny. He just
Yeah, it was good to chat to
naturally
him
a funny dude.
on a level. Like, he's really interesting. We have a lot to talk about. We've spoken a lot before about ADHD and the similarities, and he struggles to function the way I do as well, which it's always nice to find someone else that has a shit time as well.
Yeah.
With just, trying to keep things going. Like, people seem to function well in life, and I am not one of those. And yeah, from what I spoke with him before, it really helped me to feel better about myself.
Yeah.
And here he comes. Oh, no, it's not him.
No, it's not Will. Yeah, so, no, all good. And I really enjoyed that. And it feels like we've been going on a while today. So, should
Yeah.
we wrap it up?
Yeah, we should wrap it up.
Well, thank you again, everybody, for watching.
Dreams on Toast.
Tune in next week. Keep engaging. We love you all. Peace out, brothers and sisters and whoever else.
I like that. Brothers and sisters and whoever else. So long.